Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Lee Grant. About a week and a half ago, I did a video where I was trying to solve this 565 nested arrays problem, and I got super depressed because I remember not able to solve it, but just completely not able to solve it. And so I was saying man, I'm never going to be able to break into FAANG, and yeah, I just ended up getting depressed about it, and it was because of this problem. So today I haven't looked at it since the time that I made that video. I'm going to be re-looking at this problem, retrying to figure out if I can do it. So today is kind of that day. I looked at it about a week and a half ago. I'm gonna re-look at it. I've been doing LeetCodes every single day since I started since I did this problem and was unable to get it. I haven't looked at this specific problem, but I have been practicing LeetCodes, and now I'm gonna see this problem again for the second time today and see if there's any change. So let's try it. Do I need to float on top? There we go. Okay, so let's reread the problem statement. So 565, array nesting. Okay, you are given an integer array nums of length n, where nums is a permutation of the numbers in the range 0 through n minus 1. Okay. You should build a set. Okay, so that's what I'm returning is a set. I should build a set SK. Okay. And in this set, nums, the first element is nums of k. The second element is nums of k. The third element is nums of k. Okay, I remember why I was confused by this problem. I still have no idea what this is saying. Subjected to the following rule. The first element in SK starts with the selection of the element nums k of index equals k. Okay. Selection of the element nums of k. So I have nums of k here, which is some list of integers. Good. And now the first element in the set is going to be nums indexed at this k. So there's going to be a set, okay, and this set is going to contain different things inside of it, okay? And what is the first thing that's going to be inside of it? It is going to be nums of 0. The second thing is going to be what? K now. K is changing, right? Because this is the index of the set. So this is going to be of 1. And then I'm going to look at nums of 1. And then put that into the nums as well. Something like this. And likewise, I will have this. But of 2. Okay, so I think this is what the question is asking me. I'm going to look to the examples down here in a bit, but I'm thinking like about some problems that could come up. So for example, if I index nums of 2 and nums of 2 is like 9 million, but nums this nums array, the length is only like 5. Well, now I'm trying to index a million, and so I get an out of bounds error. So is there any protection? Am I given any protection? So is a permutation, so you are given an integer array nums of length n, where nums is a permutation of the numbers. Okay, so this right here, a permutation, I was thinking, I remember the first time I read this problem, I was thinking like permutations and combinations, and I was trying to take the first number and do a permutation with the, I, okay, I think what it's just saying is permutation all jumbled up. So you have the number 0 through the number n minus 1. So uh, let's just take the case where I said 5. It's the length, the nums array is length 5. So I have 0 through 4, and then they're all jumbled up. So 4 could be the 0th index, and then it could be 2, and then 0, and then 1, and then 3, right? So the numbers are all jumbled up, but the numbers are confined to the values 0 through n minus 1, which means you will never get an out of bounds indexing error by indexing the value within this list itself. Okay, so I do have protection there. Okay, so the next element SFK should be yep, and then yep, so far. We stop adding right before a duplicate element occurs in SFK. Okay, so don't quite understand that. Okay, so this is a stopping condition. Okay. We stop adding to the set, I'm guessing, right before a duplicate error or a duplicate element occurs in SK. So I think it means we don't add a number twice. Okay, so I'm gonna have this set. So do I have to declare it so like my set equals, does it have to be a set like this, or can I do like my set equals and then this? But this is like a dictionary, but the output is like that. So I'm gonna try doing it like this, because this is like a hash map or something. So that's not, I don't think that's what we want. But if we're getting errors, we can come back and try to renegotiate. Okay. I shall be the negotiator. Okay, so let's see. If we can get to that point, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's okay, return. So this is the return type. So this is what I need to return, and let me check here. It says an int. Okay, so I need to return an integer. I'm not returning the set. So actually, I don't think it matters, because I'm not returning the set. I'm returning an integer, which means the length. Okay. So now while true, what do I want to do? So I want to add the elements. Should it be like for I in range length of nums, like this? And then, so I'm indexing. Yes. Good. Now, what? Now I have to... but each time I'm doing it, I'm not accumulating. I have to, like, do... I have to do nums of nums of nums of nums of nums of nums. So I have to go all the way down as far as I can. Okay. How do I want to do that one? How do I want to do that one? So the first thing that I'm thinking is I do have some like information that this is a depth first search problem. I do know, because I've right now my idea is, okay, I'm going to try to learn as much as I can with the depth first search. I'm going to try to get to the point where I get good at solving mediums, and then once I get to that point, okay, cool, then I'm going to jump over to a different topic and get good at that topic. So I do have a little bit of information on that, so I'm able to try to take that and take this problem and kind of shove it into the you are a depth first search problem. So how would I use depth first search to provide useful work in this context? That's the question. That's a question that I need to ask myself. And it's not immediately coming to me. With this problem, I'm starting to remember it a little bit more. I think what happened was I didn't even see the solution, or if I did see the solution, I didn't like pay attention to it, because I couldn't even understand what the problem was saying. I didn't even understand what this said. So now I'm kind of feel like I'm on the fly trying to implement the solution. I can understand the problem now, but the solution is not immediately coming to me. Okay, so I know if it's depth first search, there has to be some way for me to view this as a graph, but I'm not seeing that immediately. Nums is an array. Okay. Can I can I view like nums of something is connected to its like corresponding number or something? Like here I have this nums array. Can I say like node 0 is connected to node 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is connected to node 6, which is here, and node 6 is connected to node 2, which is here. And what am I trying to return, or what am I trying to do? I'm trying to access the base. I'm trying to access the base, which is like this number inside of nums. So that's the base, is once I get to index Is it once I get to 0 or once I get to index of 0? So this number here is going to be like my base, right? Uh, hmm. So I'm trying right now. What I'm trying to mull over in my mind is what is going to be my actual base case. Base case normally refers to like recursion, and I don't think I'm doing recursion in this situation. But like, what is my stopping condition? What is okay? So, where's the set? So like, nums of so like here in this case in on the 0, 1, 2 index of my set. So I'm trying to do something to my set. I'm trying to add an element to my set, and I'm asking what element am I trying to add? Well, it is I need to unravel something. What is that something? It is the nums array. Okay. Now, when I unravel this nums array, what is the stopping condition of that unraveling? Well, it is when I get to this k value, right? And okay, so k value is the index, which is I. So once I get to I, right? No, which is the number? Which is the um nums of I, which is going to be what? So this k, so maybe that's k right there. Okay, so k is going to be a number. So the 0th element is going to be 0. So I'm looking at 0, and then I index nums of 0. But I can't just recur. I can't just keep doing nums of nums of nums of nums. I have to find some way to like connect these. Um. So that. Okay. All of a sudden, this problem is now legitimately interesting because now I can understand what it's asking, and I feel like, oh wow, okay, like I don't immediately see how to do it, but it's a very interesting question now. In the previous video, I was just like, I don't even know what it's asking. I'm not smart enough to ever be able to break into FAANG. I hate this. What's going on? Why I just felt super down. Um, but now, like, okay, I understand the problem. It's an interesting question, but I don't I don't exactly know how to do it. Although sometimes those are the interesting questions. Like if it's in, I don't mean easy as in this. Like sometimes easy questions can be difficult. Sometimes medium questions can be kind of easy, right? I don't mean medium in or easy in terms of this, but I mean if the question is like trivial, almost like oh okay, I completely know how to do it. Just like do it in 5 minutes, just like blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I mean, that's not very interesting. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice ego boost, and I hope that those are the kind of questions that come up, right? But like in terms of like intellectual curiosity, these kinds of questions that are legitimately like you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. But I understand it, right? Like I understand what it's asking me to do, but I don't know how to achieve it. Like those are kind of interesting because then when you learn the answer, you're like, oh, okay, okay, I get it. Um, but anyways, back to trying to think about this. I'm gonna take about, I don't know how long, but I'm gonna try to just like let this sit in my head. So I'm gonna drink my coffee. You're welcome to join me. Okay. Okay. So took like a 20-second break. Kind of let my mind relax a little bit. I'm gonna go look at this again, see if I'm able to if something, maybe a light bulb clicks, possibly. Okay, so anyways, I stop unraveling when I get to K, which K is defined as the index. So, but then I need to take nums x amount of times, and x, where x is the number, where x is k, essentially. So, like, or I guess k plus 1. So, I need to take this k plus 1 times. Okay, so k plus 1 times. And now that is... So, depth first search now is going to be... Um... Hmm. Depth first search is... How can... They have to be connected somehow. And they are connected... How can I visualize like a connection? It would be... So nums of 0 is, I'm going to index 0, and this is going to be a number, right? Yes, it is. And then this is going to be at 1. So this is not this. Can I build? Does this result give me any information as to how I can put it in here? No, because this k is different. So maybe I need to just simply do a depth first, or like a recursion on every single element. Like, I was trying to be clever and think of how I can use this information to kind of bootstrap myself into this information or this index, so that I don't need to do all of those calls, because that's going to be an extremely time inefficient solution. But it's not immediately coming out, so let me. I guess what I'm going to try to do is see if I can do things maybe recursively, and then see if that works. And then if it does, possibly think about how to optimize it, or we might have to look at an optimized solution and see, like, okay, well, where was my solution? Where's the optimized solution? Something like that, and then learn, like, okay, here's the optimized solution. So let's just see if we can do anything. Let's just try to pass this problem. So traverse, and what am I going to traverse? I'm going to be passed in K and like stop condition. Would it be like this? And now when would be my base case? My base case is if K equals stop condition. Okay, I don't know if this is correct immediately, but I'm gonna be thinking about it. So that's my base case right there, possibly. I don't think it's quite right. I'm right now just trying to put stuff on the page and then see if I can work things out. That's kind of my strategy that I'm working with right now. So, okay, so then if it's not the base case, what do I want to do? I want to traverse Okay, I do not know if this is correct at all. Let me think about what I am trying to accomplish with this traverse function. So, and I'm out of coffee. Okay, still have a little bit of water left, but what am I trying to accomplish with this traverse function? I am trying to take in a value. So I'm going to pass in K. I'm going to pass in K. So K is here. I want to continue to perform indexing on nums so I'm just gonna actually do something else. So def give answer something like traverse 2, and now so I pass in a k value, right? And what does that k value actually mean? That means the index. So I pass in an I, actually. Let me just call it I. I pass in an I, and what does that I represent? That represents the index which I want to do. And how many times do I want to do it? I want to do it k plus 1 times. So times left. Minus equals 1 if times left is less than or equal to 0 return. Oh. Else, what do we want to do? We want to traverse 2. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am not doing good with this problem at all. On one hand, it means that there's definitely a lot of useful information that I can learn, right? Like if I'm having difficulty, it means there's a lot of opportunity for me to learn. There's a lot of topics which I'm not up to the standard that I should be at. So on one hand, it's good that I'm encountering these problems now. And then, but then on the other hand, it's just like, oh man, this is like, okay. So, like, for example, I really think that my skill set should be up to the level that performing a recursive call on like nested arrays should not actually be difficult for me. It should be something that my brain can kind of quickly comprehend, figure out what needs to be done, and then actually do those operations. But as of right now, it is not something that is immediately coming to me. So, hmm, speaking of FAANG, I feel the presence of a FAANG of an Amazonian near me. Anyways, she just opened the door, saw that I was doing a video, and then was like, "Oh, okay." Anyways, so what do I want to do? I really don't know. This should be something that's pretty easy for me. I guess the next step is I have to just go to Copilot, figure out where I went wrong, and do kind of an autopsy, because I don't think, as one of my teachers said, it's struggling is good, but don't struggle forever, right? Like, the act of struggling does help your mind understand the problem, but eventually you do need to go and get help when you can't understand something. So I am going to, like, okay. So Copilot. Here is the starter code that I was attempting to do for question can you help explain this the solution? Okay, so yeah, essentially the result of this video is I was unable to solve this problem. Come here. This one is what? This one is problem 565 nested arrays. Okay. There we are. So now put that in my failed LeetCode problems. So what I'm going to do is I put all the problems that I was unable to solve into this notes, and then I'm going to be continuing to revisit them until I get good at those problems. So there we are right there. So got that in there. Now time to investigate, like, what's going on. Why is this, how can I do this properly? So, okay, cool. Sure, the problem requires finding the longest cycle. Wait, hold on. Why are we doing cycles? So, what do cycles have anything to do with that? That's an interesting question. So, somehow cycles indicate information in this problem. Longest cycle in the array following specific rules, where we build sets that loop back to earlier elements. Here's how you can approach the solution. Okay, so as of right now, I feel pretty lost. Like, I don't quite understand. Yeah. Anyways, problem breakdown input. An array nums of length n. Yep. Which is a permutation of the numbers 0 through n minus 1. Okay. Objective. Find the longest length of sets sk defined as follows. Start with nums of k, next element, yep, okay, continue until an element repeats, great. Approach. Use visited array, keep track of visited elements to avoid redundant calculations. So that's kind of what I was meaning about how do you use information from one find to avoid doing multiple, like, to avoid doing, how do, whew, apparently I can't even communicate anymore, but how do you use results found in previous calculations to avoid doing redundant work in calculating things that you've already calculated? So I was trying to think about if there was a way to do it, but I wasn't seeing any connection. And now reading this sentence makes me feel like, okay, there is some way to do this. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but there should be some way to avoid doing that redundant work. So use visited array to track visited elements to avoid redundant calculations. Okay. Depth first search. Traverse the array elements starting from each index to find cycles. Detailed solution. Initialize a visited array to keep track of whether an element has been visited. Okay, sure. Depth first search or iterative traversal. Start from each element, traverse the array using the rules, and count cycle length. Update maximum length. Keep track of the longest cycle found. So here's the solution right there. So let's kind of go through the solution. Alright, so array nesting, okay. Length of n, so we just get the length, okay. Visited, so we're setting all of them equal to false. So we have not visited any of the Man, I'm really gonna have to think about this question, because I mean, I'm sure that I could go and kind of like for the video pretend like I understand it, but I'm not trying to do that with my videos. I'm trying to provide like an honest assessment of myself and kind of like showcase what a realistic Leetcoding journey looks like. So like the question that I'm having right now is I'm still not quite sure how this visited even matters. Like, why do I need it? I see what it's doing. I see that it's creating a visited for each of those number nodes, but I don't understand why, and I don't see how the depth first search actually helps me. I mean, I'm sure like when I get to here, I can understand that, okay, yeah, I'm doing a depth first search, but the question isn't like how, it's why. Like, what does that accomplish for me? So I'm gonna have to probably spend a lot of time looking at this question, trying to absorb it, and then obviously as I put it into my notes here, this is a question that I will be coming back to. in the future. So anyways, let's go through this and then see if anything jumps out to me, and then yeah, so let's first read through this. So depth first search, we're doing length, we're current equals start. Okay, so while not visited, so I'm just setting each of those visited current element. Okay, I don't even see what's going on here, honestly. And then I go through each of the nodes in the like nums array, and I stop when there's already one which has been visited. So well, not okay, I feel like there's a lot in this problem that I do not understand. I'm going to have to look at this solution. I'm going to have to like I'll probably watch some videos online where they kind of go through it, and maybe that will help me. And then I'm going to return to this answer right here. I'm going to try to really understand it on a deep level. What's going on? Why is it happening? And then also, I wanted to figure out, like, on this portion, I was trying to do something. I was trying to do these, like, recursive a nesting of arrays, but I wasn't able to do that either. So this actually introduced a secondary concept which I was unable to do. So I need to figure out how to do that as well. So I'm gonna try to like maybe can you show me a brute force method of how I was trying to do a recursive nesting of the elements. Okay, let's see if it shows me the brute force thing. So I care about this. Def traverse if index and visited returns 0. Okay, so I need to. This is probably what I was trying to do. Let's see. So I have traverse, and I go through each of the nodes. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. And now, if the index wasn't visited, that's my base case. I return 0. Okay, why do I return 0? And then I add that to my visited set. Yes, that makes sense. I had two elements that I was passing in, index and visited. Okay, so index and visited. That was my I. So I have I, and then I called visited, like visited. I said stop condition. So I think that that's different. This is like a fundamental difference. Okay, and then return 1 plus. And then nums of, I'm passing that into here as the index. Okay, so this is how you can do that, like nesting through recursion right there. Okay, so this is another thing that I want to look over, really understand. I'm gonna like print this out. I'm gonna keep it. I'm going to look at it and try to like burn it into my memory, because even though this is not the optimal, this is not the efficient solution, it is extremely helpful in learning the concepts and understanding the concepts and getting my brain in the right mood for these problems. So anyways, that's how I am going to move forward, and then in the following days I'm going to try to solve this exact same problem again, and get to the point where I can understand it on a deep level, not just a surface level, not just like, okay, I can solve it, press go, and it solves it, but on a deep level. So, anyways, I guess the answer to this question, will I ever break into FAANG? Maybe not. Maybe not. Not looking like it right now. But anyways, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna every day advance, move forward, and not give up. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you would like, subscribe. That would be awesome. I will continue making these Leetcoding videos, these Java videos, these JavaScript videos as well. I'm gonna start doing JavaScript videos. For doing like projects and stuff like that in those different languages. And so, if any of that seems something that you would be interested in, feel free to subscribe, stick around, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I will see you. I don't know when. I might make another video today. I've made like 5 videos today, but I'm on a roll. I'm happy. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. This is a fun time. Anyways, so I will see you guys whenever I decide to make my next video, either today or definitely tomorrow, because I make a video every day. Every day. Don't stop. Don't stop. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No stopping. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay. See ya.